Welcome back to SK viewers. In this video, we will learn how to draw the projections of hexagonal pyramid using AutoCAD. The pyramid has the axis inclined at 30 degrees to HP and parallel to VP. We'll solve this step by step using change of position method, stage 1 and stage 2. So stay with me till the end. Let's get started the drawing. First, try to understand the question. What is given? Draw the projections of a hexagonal pyramid of base side 30 mm and axis length 60 mm. One edge of its base rests on the HP. The axis of the pyramid is inclined at 30 degrees to the HP and is parallel to the VP. Right. So here in this problem, the axis is inclined to one plane and parallel to other. So this can be drawn in two stages. So in the first stage, we are going to assume the inclination to be perpendicular or 90 degrees with respect to the given plane. And in the second stage, we are going to change the position of the drawing, the axis inclination with respect to given plane, that is HP, right? So when the axis is perpendicular to HP, in the top view we see the base, and particularly in this question it is a edge based question or edge condition question. One edge of its base rests on the HP, so that edge must be take perpendicular to XY line here. So let us draw the top view of the pyramid. So here it is a given hexagon shape. Click on the polygon, the number of sides 6, then the edge is given, so click on the edge on the command line. So click here, give the edge length as 30 mm. So mark the points and also the peak point. This is the center point, means it's a peak point in the pyramid. So join all these base corners with this apex point. So give the point names also here. This is A, B, C, D, E and F. So here the peak point O. Now draw the projectors from each and every point up to this XY line. Point B and E comes on same projector up to reference line. CD comes on same projector up to reference line. So here mark the points and keep the point names. Here the point names, this is A dash, and on the same line the same point also represents the point F, that is invisible. Point B and E comes here, B dash, E dash. Similarly here another set of points C and D. C is visible and D is invisible, right? Now draw the axis with given height. The axis height is given as 60 mm, right? This is the peak point. Now draw the slant edges. This is OA dash, OB dash already is there, next OC dash, and the base also we need to connect. So here the three slant edges are visible and remaining three slant edges are invisible when we are seeing from the front side from in this direction. AO is visible, BO is visible, CO is visible, DO, EO, FO are not visible in the front view, right? All fine. This is the first stage. In this first stage we assume the axis is perpendicular to the ground. The axis is perpendicular to the ground, but in the question it is given the axis is making 30 degrees inclination to the HP and parallel to VP. Now we have to copy this front view. So for that first I am making group of it all, including the point names and points. Then I'm copying this is my base point, and here I'm placing. Yes. Now rotate this diagram to the required inclination. Rotate, select the object, then select the base point. This is my base point, and it is asking reference. So the reference here I'm taking this as reference, and the inclination is 30 degrees. So to check this inclination of this axis, just extend, see the inclination of this axis with respect to the xy line. So this is the final front view. So next we have to proceed with the final top view. To obtain that, draw the projectors from each and every point of the front view. Point B comes here, and point C dash D dash projector comes here. Next point O dash comes here. The same way, draw the projectors from previous top view, that is point E. So I'm drawing the point E projector up to E dash projector. You can see here the perpendicularity symbol also, and FD comes and up to this line. Next point O, that is a peak point up to this, so up to O dash projector. Next AC up to this, and point B up to this line. So here mark the corresponding intersection points. Let us say A projector, A dash projector, this is point A, and B projector, B dash projector, this is point B. Similarly, remaining all points C, D, E, F, and this is O. Right? Give the point names. This is B, C, D, point E, and point F. So here it comes point O. Right? So edit the point names. This is O. So here we got all the points. Since the base is a polygon, the base edges should join with a straight line. Let us draw A to B straight edge. Next B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, F to A. Then all the slant edges also we have to draw from these base corners to the apex point. A to O is finished, then B to O. So here one point I need to explain. So to draw the final top view, we have to observe the stage 1 top view in this direction as the my cursor moving direction, all points. So point E is visible, F is visible, A is visible, point B also visible. When we are watching from this direction, C is not visible and D also not visible. Slant edge EO is visible, FO visible, AO visible, BO is visible, and remaining CO, DO are not visible. So now I'm drawing the slant edges here. AO is visible, BO is visible, and FO is also visible, and EO is also visible, whereas the DO is invisible. So we have to make this slant edge as dotted line and CO also dotted lines. So for that I am selecting this CO and DO, changing the properties to hidden lines. Yeah, and here one more point we have to notice the axis in this top view. So draw the axis line. So I'm changing the property of this axis into center. So also I want to change the color to some red for visual appearance. We have to maintain the variation of these lines. All construction lines must be use thin lines. So these are all the projectors construction lines. So I am changing these to 2H, this front view and this top view, this top view and this front view. So I am making to 2B, and you can see the variation. Now I am ungrouping this, then I am breaking this axis line at base point. Break at a point, select the object, then click at point where you required. Now change this segment into construction line 2H. So let us give the dimensions. The axis height is given. This is 60 mm and the base side is given and axis inclination with respect to XY line is given. You notice here in the final front view, the axis is inclined at 30 degrees, and in the top view, the axis, this line is parallel to XY line, that means parallel to VP. In the top view, when we are watching this from the top, CD points C and D are not visible. The CD is an edge that is on the ground, means on horizontal plane. So CD edge also invisible. That also the edges connecting BC and DE. So these two edges also are invisible while observing from the top. So we have to make this CD and DE, of course BC also, into hidden. This completes the projections of a hexagonal pyramid with its axis inclined at 30 degrees to HP and parallel to VP, and one of its base edge on the ground. The base edge is CD. CD, you can see this is the edge. Here the CD appears as a line on XY line, that means it is on the ground. If you found this explanation helpful, like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to SK Eduverse for more engineering drawing and AutoCAD problems and the concepts explained clearly. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.